Hey y'all, I'm Stuart98. Welcome to a 0K1 versus 1 series. This is going to be between, in the bottom right, the Russian with an unpronounceable name. It is Hjkia, going with a Cloakbot factory and an engineer commander ZZZ, and his opponent in the top left. It is going to be from the clan Plot. It's the GOAT, the #1 player in the world, Godde, going with the Strike Commander and a Spider Factory. So this is a series of 4 games that were played on February the 8th. The only previous time these players played 4 games on December the 26th, and the record there was 4-0 Godde. So let's see if this time Hjkia can make something different happen. So, both players doing their initial scout out. Hjkia with 2 glaives going into Godde's base. Godde with some fleas, seeing what Hjkia's got going on. Hjkia getting this forward radar up. Venom from Godde is moving in, will threaten that radar, possibly take it down. Hjkia is moving a couple of glaives in. Glaive from Hjkia tickles the metal extractor before falling back. Godde now moving forward with his commander. Venom from Godde approaching the radar, but engaging with these glaives instead. Will be able to kill both of them, but will be reduced in its HP significantly. Picket coming up will not quite one-shot the Venom if it returns, however it will kill it, so Venom forced to fall back. You're going to try and run it down, however you don't want to engage a retreating Venom with glaives, really. It's 2 glaives from Hjkia going to move in on Godde's base. Firing at that metal extractor, are in range of the Lotus and the Venom. Metal extractor nearly goes down, survives at only 4% HP. So, but not great for Hjkia, losing those 2 glaives, not doing any damage. Good lead for Godde, however, barely any value has been exchanged thus far. Economically, pretty even. Godde ahead by reclaiming those glaives right now. However, once that's gone, it's going to be basically the same income for both players. Hjkia, a bit faster expanding with a Khan. Godde's Khan still in his base, setting up a plate. Godde going very heavy with plates instead of caretakers nowadays. Like, I understand it if you're mass producing something like glaives, but with Venom, surely caretaker would be preferred to plate. Plate is slightly cheaper than caretaker, so I guess it makes sense. Is pausing working on that spider plate to set up a solar collector. Hjkia ahead in energy right now, and that is giving him a nice bit of overdrive. Godde working on rectifying this. Hjkia was late moving his commander because he was setting up 5 energy in the base. Usually you only see 3. Godde went with 2, now getting just set up a 3rd, now getting up a 4th. Hjkia going to move in with a nice raid of 6 glaives, threatening that Venom and metal extractor. Second Venom just rolled off the production line, and Godde is responding to this raid. Hjkia takes down the metal extractor, takes down second Venom, however, does lose all of his glaives, so that Godde comes out ahead in that exchange, especially with all the reclaim, but will have to rebuild that metal extractor. 4 Venoms moving in. 4 Venoms is enough to kill a commander. However, with the Lotus here and with them wasting a bunch of time killing that metal extractor, Venom is forced to fall back, Godde losing 1 Venom in the process. Hjkia moving forward with another raid, this time of 8 glaives. Venom from Godde spots the glaives, however it does fall back. Engaging 8 glaives with 1 Venom is suicide. Back says, I don't know what the strat is versus Venom's Cloak. I guess just Imp. Imp is okay, however, Glaives can overrun Venoms. Venoms tend to be pretty bad at choosing which Glaives to target, so they lose fights that they probably shouldn't. Past that, Knight, very good at soaking damage versus Venom. Reaver, very good at killing Venom. Mono Knight or Mono Reaver should both beat Mono Venom, however, combined it's even better. Venom is, of course, a lot faster than Knight or Reaver, so you do need them to stay in a group, because if you have a group of Venoms engaging one Reaver or one Knight, it'll get locked down before it can do any damage. So this Reaver from Hjkia not in a great position. Imp from Hjkia set up to stun these Venoms. Big fight gonna happen here. Hjkia gets one shot off, however Venoms fall out of range. Managed to avoid the Imp, but Imp moves in. 3 Venoms stunned. These 2 Venoms are able to take out a Lotus and a Metal Extractor. Venom going down. Hjkia's lost most of his Glaives. That last Venom does go down. Glaive makes it out and will be able to regen. This Reaver, getting surrounded, easily goes down to these Venoms. You can't just send the Reavers in one at a time. They die. They super die. Conjure from Hjkia, falling back from expanding in the southwest corner, going to start reclaiming. 1k reclaim. Hjkia can lock it down. That's going to be a big boon to him. He is behind Godde in attrition right now, and economy is fairly even. But 1k reclaim could easily put him ahead. Hjkia moving forward with some Glaives. Going to fall back, however. These 2 Reavers, especially with the high ground range advantage, taking down a Venom, definitely going to be hard for Godde to assail. Godde's still pumping out nothing but Venoms? Not actually true. He has one of these plates on Mono Venom and one of them on a repeat Venom Flea queue, which it's good to have fleas all over the map. This raid from Hjkia going to be redirected. Didn't want to engage those Venoms and Lotuses. However, they're redirecting into even more Venom. This is not a good trade for Hjkia. Does take down a Venom, but so many Glaives lost in the south side of the map. 3 Venoms from Hjkia, or from Godde, locking down a Lotus, stunning Hjkia's commander. However, the timing wasn't quite right for the perma-stun. Hjkia's commander gets one shotgun shot off on that second to last Venom from Godde. Last one forced to fall back because the perma-stun was lost. Godde going to move more Venoms forward. Hjkia setting up even more Lotuses. He does not want that Hun to get locked down. These Venoms walking into 3 Reavers, not going to go well for them. Are going to kill one of the Reavers, however, 6 Venoms for 1 Reaver is not a good trade at all. Hjkia now ahead in attrition, and still reclaiming that big field from earlier. Godde's commander now under threat from all these Glaives, Knight moving in. Tom is taking so much damage. Will survive all these Glaives, just barely, but with the Reavers moving in, Reaver is faster than even Strike Commander. Even though Strike is the fastest commander, Reaver is still going to catch up to it. Firing on that Flea, Calm gets taken out by the splash damage. It's huge for Hjkia. This is a 2k reclaim field. Godde is going to be able to take down the Knight and Reaver. However, he needs to move in and secure this fast, because this 2k reclaim, if Hjkia gets it, that is game over. Hjkia with better map control, locking down the entire east side of the map. The southwest corner still contested by both players. Like, not really actively contested so much as neither has really tried to take it. Godde moving forward with a bunch of Venoms to attack Hjkia's commander, however, forced to move a bunch of them back to deal with big glaive raid from Hjkia, taking out a metal extractor, taking out 2 lotuses. Should take out this Weaver. However, Weaver does get away. Hjkia redirecting his glaives north to take down yet another metal extractor and a lotus as well. Now going south, we'll be able to take down a 3rd metal extractor, however, not going to be able to take down a 4th with these 2 lotuses and all these venoms here. More lotuses down south, so that should be the end of these glaives. Hjkia is playing very well, however, also this is just a pretty bad matchup for Spider. I've been saying, like, Venom beats Glaive, but not by as much as it should, because Venom takes a very long time to kill Glaives. And if they're targeting the wrong Glaives, then they can take a lot of damage, and if the Glaives get away, then they just full heal. And Spider doesn't have a good way to answer Knight and Reaver. Like, they can make Recluse, however, Knight and Reaver are faster than Recluse. And Cloak can just switch to Phantom, which absolutely annihilates everything Spider has except Flea. And Flea can't do anything against Glaive, so it's just a rough matchup. Hjkia now with a significant eco lead over Godde, and he's not even claiming right now. He needs to get some cons up to take advantage of this 2.1k wreckage field. Con from Hjkia, just working on overdriving these metal extractors, not moving forward, does have an imp here and a Stardust, so if Godde tries attacking here, that is totally doomed. Reavers from Hjkia moving in on this forward position from Godde. Godde should come out ahead in this engagement. Reaver's going down, taking a lot of fire from that Lotus. Lotus should go down now. Yes, does go down. Venom is forced to fall back to even more Reavers and Knights, however. Glaive's moving in. And this is how you know Godde's been around for a while. Reaver used to be called Warrior, because the history lesson, so cloak bots are derived from in Total Annihilation, ARM K-bots. Core K-bots became Shield and Amp, while ARM K-bots became Cloak, and the Reaver used to be the ARM Warrior. It hasn't had that name since 2016, Godde still calls it that. So, there's a lot of 0K players who will just call units by things that they haven't been called in 9 years. I'm guilty of that sometimes. Big engagement. Recluses got stunned by an imp, all going down to these Reavers and Knights. Godde just unable to deal with the Reaver and Knight spam. Recluse slowly killed them, but they'll get caught up to eventually. This one getting caught up to by this Knight and going to go down. Knight missing there. Spider can make Hermit, which does okay against this composition. However, Hermit can't do anything against Glaive. Glaives just dodge all of the Hermit shots so effectively. Absolutely brutal matchup for Spider. You can try and do a factory switch. You can factory switch into jump bots and make moderators. However, Phantom's going to be a big problem if you do that. You can switch into Shield, make Shield Ball, Felon Thug, Rogue, Phantom's going to be a big problem against that. You can switch into Air, make Phoenix. Phantom's going to be a big problem against that. Hjkia actually the one with the Air switch here. Phoenix is absolutely devastating against the entire Spider arsenal. Because Venoms don't have a whole lot of HP, Recluses don't have a whole lot of HP, Godde hasn't made any Redbacks, they don't have much HP either. Even Hermit doesn't have that much HP. It has a lot of HP for its cost, but it's also very cheap. Godde, realizing there was no way he was going to turn that around, calls the GG and resigns. Hjkia just way ahead in economy that entire game, that big reclaim field. He took all that, ran it straight to the bank. Didn't actually reclaim anything past that first field, however that gave him enough of an edge, combined with the superior map control, and Godde just not able to adapt to that matchup. It's so rough for Spider. Army value pretty even throughout, Godde resigning once that 2k deficit opened up. So, very impressive game from Hjkia on the board against Godde. Very few players can say that. Like, I've been playing for over a decade, and it wasn't until last September that I was able to say that. So, we'll see if Godde can answer back in Game 2. Welcome back to Game 2 in this 4-game series between these two players. On the left, Godde is going for Spiders with an Engineer Commander and Redback blueprinted. And on the right, Hjkia also going for Spiders with that ZZ Engineer Commander and Venom blueprinted. Venom might be the default blueprint. Maybe it's Flea. I don't remember for sure. I think it's probably Flea based on... Usually it's the unit in this slot that's the default blueprint. So Hjkia manually changed his blueprint just now to Recluse. Okay. So this is on the map Frozen Planet. I was going to say I had never played on this map once in my over a decade of playing 0K. However, that is actually not true because this map is a campaign map. This is used in the campaign for the mission where you get Redback and Recluse. Spiders here makes sense. Very hilly. I wouldn't want to go anything else on it. I wouldn't want to play on it at all because I do not enjoy spider dittos. Godde going for lots of fleas. Hjkia getting a Weaver out long before Godde even starts his first Weaver. And also going for Venom. I don't really understand the flea spam in this matchup because like Venom is just so effective at clearing out fleas. One-shots them with plenty of AoE. You can kill multiple fleas with one shot. One Venom costs almost as much as 8 fleas, so like it makes sense, but a Venom is going to be expected to kill more than 8 fleas, and Venom versus Venom is so swingy depending on not only just who has more Venoms, but also whose Venoms are engaging better. So the fleas just feel like a liability compared to more Venoms. Another thing, Godde going for high ground wins for energy. Hjkia just going for solars. So that's a good move by Godde. Much higher energy production potential. Fleas from Godde, taking out Hjkia's fleas, but not seeing the radar. Not seeing the radar. And retreating. Meanwhile, Venoms from Godde moving in, easily cleaning out all of those fleas. 450 value lost for Godde to 75 for Hjkia. Venom from Godde moving in, however, Godde's Venoms are just engaging one at a time. Pretty separated. That's not great for Venom versus Venom. Another thing for Venom versus Venom is that with stun weapons, how much EMP damage it takes to get stunned is determined based on current health, not total health, or max health. Hjkia moving in very aggressively with his commander, taking out one of Godde's metal extractors, building a Lotus. Godde moving in with his own commander in response. Godde, confused how this match is going. Hjkia retreating those Venoms away. Lots of damage going on to Godde's commander, much less on Hjkia's commander. Godde did focus down that Lotus to reduce the amount of damage going in on his commander, rather than focusing down Hjkia's commander. Hjkia's commander getting stunned by these Venoms, his own Venoms, nowhere near where they need to be. Godde's commander under 800 HP, but Hjkia's commander going to be the one to go down first. Hjkia moving in with these Venoms, however, they've taken so much damage, they'll take down this Lotus, however, doesn't even have equal numbers of Venoms to Godde. Venoms not accomplishing anything, Godde's commander surviving, Hjkia's commander dying. Hjkia, no way to bring that game back. That's a very quick answer back from Godde in this game 2. We'll see if he can keep it going into game 3. Welcome to this third game in this 4-game series between, in the bottom right hand corner, Godde with an engineer commander, scalpels, blueprinted, and hovercraft platform. And in his opponent in the top left, it is Hjkia still with the engineer commander ZZZ, and going cloak bots. This is on the map Dune Patrol Redoubts. One thing about this map, it does have a nice 200, 300 metal reclaim in the pond in the center of the map. So Godde going with a Quill first. If this gets caught by this glaive, that's going to be a big problem. Godde going for a radar and a metal extractor before making any Lotuses, and only has one dagger on the field. However, Hjkia, 2 glaives going south, 1 glaive going north. See if it spots that Quill. Quill now working on a Lotus, and there is a dagger now. Second dagger is out from Godde's hovercraft platform. Quill is safe. This is a really weird matchup. Glaive is cheaper than dagger, and 1 glaive beats 1 dagger in a fight. Dagger, very low damage per second, however, does have very high alpha and is faster than glaive. So, if these daggers get to critical mass, where they start killing glaives in 1 volley, then it becomes a pretty hard matchup for Cloaky. This map fairly flat, but does have some hills, and hover doesn't really deal with these hills well. This one's not too bad. These ones pretty bad, and there are some unpassable areas. These daggers from Godde going to easily get killed. Well, that one easily killed by these glaives. Second one forced to retreat. Godde a bit faster in building some metal extractors around the pond. However, Hjkia faster in getting the natural expansion there. Guess this would be considered the natural, and this is forward. I don't know. Daggers from Godde do knock down that metal extractor. Wasn't quite finished. So, Hjkia not getting any metal from that, just losing 70 from it. Ish. Quill from Godde in danger of going down to these glaives. Godde wisely turning it around. Hjkia going to start reclaiming these rocks in the center now. Free metal income, always a good thing, except that Hjkia not actually in a position to spend it. Did switch his blueprint onto a knight. Knight should be able to knock out all of this. Knight pretty good against dagger, because dagger it just has such low DPS, and of course can only damage 1 dagger at a time, so it's a bit, neither side is going to be killing the other very quickly there. 2500 cost for knight, 110 damage for dagger, so that's like 23 daggers to one-shot a knight, something like that. Glaives from Hjkia moving in. This would be enough to one-shot a commander, however, or not one, but to kill a commander. However, Lotus is there, daggers are there, so calm, fairly safe. Does lose a metal extractor there. Knight moving in. Takes a bit of damage from the daggers, however, in no real danger of going down. Hjkia should be able to take out both of these metal extractors. Quill is setting up a second Lotus. These glaives from Hjkia still preventing Godde from expanding forward with that con, however, can easily be displaced because they've been isolated. Going to go down to these daggers now. Metal extractor does go down. Hjkia with a significant attrition advantage, however, does go down a bit from losing those glaives without getting any kills on those daggers. This is a pretty threatening glaive ball from Hjkia, however, not going to move in between the commander and all of the daggers. It would run the risk of being a big metal donation for Godde, and Godde a player who will always take advantage of such a donation. Hjkia expanding with his con, however, no Lotus is set up, and not enough glaives to defend the con against this many daggers. Glaives are going to take down 2 daggers there, however, Conjurer forced to retreat. Only 1 glaive left. More glaives moving in now. However, not positioned very well. That was 4 glaives lost to kill 1 dagger. That's not good at all. Godde now taking a decisive lead in attrition, taking down a metal extractor. Won't be able to take down that second one because of that Reaver. Glaives and daggers continuing to skirmish down here. Godde with a raid, or Hjkia with a raid on Godde's base. Takes down 1 metal extractor, second metal extractor. However, will lose all these remaining glaives. That's 400 metal into Godde's base. This glaive, barely surviving, however, will be able to self-heal all that back to full health in no time at all. And then we'll just be able to finish Godde's last dagger there easily. So Hjkia will be able to expand back to that southwest corner, except that more daggers moving in. Reavers are here now. We'll be able to stop these daggers. Well, no. Godde retreating some of the daggers, however, others able to get through the Reavers. Reavers not in the best position. No glaives down here. Conjurer still can't expand into that southwest corner. Meanwhile, Godde has the northeast corner set up. Only has 1 Lotus, however, Godde also not putting, Hjkia also not putting any pressure on it. Daggers not able to do any damage here. Could have taken down that metal extractor, however, would have lost at least another dagger, if not 2, if he had stuck around there. Hjkia actually accessing, not producing anything from his Cloakbot factory or his commander right now. Is moving forward with these Knights and Reaver to gauge that northeast position, and has locked down the southwest. Godde switching into Scalpels. Reaver is very much needed to prevent these daggers from overrunning the Knights. However, Reaver took so much damage from these Lotuses. Knights shut down by the daggers. Hjkia trying to move forward, however, shut down by the Claymore. Claymore does outrange Reaver, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 300 range for Claymore, 270 for Reaver. So up here, Godde did have a bunch of daggers stunned by an imp, did lose a bunch from that. However, some did survive and are getting out of there. to harass Hjkia's development around the pond. Hjkia switching into Ronin against these scalpels. I don't like Ronin here at all, because they're just so inaccurate, whereas the scalpels, sure, they're more expensive than the Ronin, but also they will always hit the Ronin, whereas none of those Ronin were hitting Godde scalpels. Hjkia realizing, that was kind of an early resign. It was only a 2k gap in total value, however, Hjkia reduced to less than half the army value of Godde's, so I understand it. Hjkia just not with the right units in the right position throughout that game. Fairly even, however, slight edge for Godde throughout, and he does take it. See if Godde can make that first game a fluke in game 4 by winning the rest of the set 3-1, or if Hjkia will be able to even it out in game 4. Welcome to the final game in this 4-game series between Godde and Hjkia. This is on Scaryland. Godde going with the Recon Commander this time, while once again going for Hovercraft. Hjkia keeping with his Engineer Commander and going with Tanks. Tank versus Hover, pretty favored for Tank. Kodachi does very well against Daggers. Daggers take so much damage from the AoE on Kodachi Fireballs. They just can't get in. Retreat advantage so strong for Hovercraft here. Hover can make Bolus, however Bolus is slower than Kodachi. It cannot chase Kodachi. If it tries to chase Kodachi, it dies. Something interesting Godde did here, jumping his calm down at the start and making solars. The top platforms have 0.4 win, so, I mean, Godde's the best player in the world, so he usually knows what he's doing, but I'm inclined to just say that this is a mistake rather than a good play. Godde abandoning that Metal Extractor at 97% finish. That's going to be like 20 seconds at least of lost income there. Like, just finish it. That's minus 40 metal that you're down for no reason, basically. Not a big deal, but if you can't avoid it, why not? Yeah. So not only does Hover struggle in responding to raiding in this matchup, but also they can't effectively raid themselves because Welder just takes so many shots from Daggers to kill, and it has a gun that can kill Daggers in the meantime, so you need so many Daggers to take down a Welder. Really tough matchup. Hjkia a bit faster in securing his natural expansions, however Godde faster in getting his commander to expand into the middle. Hjkia does have a Welder starting to expand into the top side expansion, so pretty even from both players so far. There's a number of maps in 0K that are clearly inspired by StarCraft maps that could be StarCraft maps. I don't know if Scaryland is a StarCraft map, like some others. Onyx Cauldron, or not, Ravaged. Ravaged is a map in 0K that is literally just a StarCraft map. Scaryland takes inspiration from StarCraft maps, however, I don't know that it actually is one. But, like, you could just replace each of these 2-mex pairs with a StarCraft 2 mineral field and 2 Vespene geysers, and it would work. So Godde with 3 daggers in middle uncontested. Hjkia has a blitz and 3 Kodachi, preventing these 4 daggers from doing anything with that welder. Welder could almost, not quite, but almost hold off those 4 daggers all on its own, so kind of a waste, but these 2 daggers from Godde able to take down a metal extractor. Shouldn't be able to take down the second, however, Hjkia messed up in his micro that blitz there, so they will be able to take down the second. Ogre is out now. Going to make short work of all those daggers. I think Godde saw the Ogre because he's now switched into Massive Scalpel. That raid from Hjkia should have been able to take down both these metal extractors, however they diverted to engage the commander, taking down a quarter of its HP. Between killing a metal extractor and removing a quarter of an HP off a commander that's quickly going to be self-healed, I think there's a clear winner. And this is a Thrixie moment. 91% complete Lotus, unfinished, taken down by the Ogre. Scalpel from Godde moving in, however, easily stunned by the Blitz and gets in range of the Ogre. Commander from Godde taking a bit of fire from the Ogre, however, is able to ward it off. Second Scalpel moving in. The problem with Scalpels in this matchup is that while turning around, they tend to get in range of Ogres and Minotaurs and just die. So they still beat Ogres and Minotaurs per cost, I'm pretty sure, but not by as much as you'd think. And also, Minotaur just has so much health. Low numbers of Scalpels that can kind of just ignore. Hjkia is still not taking that metal extractor. Both players still even in economy. Godde is slightly ahead in attrition, however, going to lose his commander here. Scalpel's not able to do enough damage to that Minotaur. Commander does jump away, however, waits to move, takes down additional volley from the Minotaur and Ogre and goes down. Scalpel takes a bit of damage from the death. The death blast there. What? Radial man, I don't understand what Godde is saying. Whatever. Kodachi nearly going down to that Scalpel, however, second rocket doesn't land quite right. Now, Kodachi, on the other hand, went down to that Scalpel. Kodachi's moved out of sight range of the Scalpel, so the rockets lost their homing. Commander from Hjkia going to move forward, however, there is the picket, 3 Lotuses, Comp here can't do anything. Hjkia working on getting out Cyclops now. Kodachi's going down to these Scalpels. That one going down to the dagger instead of the Scalpel. Yeah. Not terrible for Godde. Is going to be able to take down this metal extractor. But it's just so far behind in attrition now, and also significantly behind in economy. Hjkia with both of these corners. Not going to be easy to assail either. Stardust with that high ground advantage probably outranges Scalpel. That Minotaur from Hjkia that killed that commander was brought down to less than 800 HP, however has been healed down to half health now. Going to not quite take down that Scalpel. Will come under fire from a lot of Scalpels now. Should go down to that volley. Yes, it does. That Scalpel goes down to the Kodachi, however. Welder going down to those Scalpels. Not really the target that you wanted them to focus on. You really want the Ogre. And now Cyclops is out. Cyclops slightly outranges the Scalpels. However, it does waste a lot of damage. Cyclops 1,000 damage per shot with reload time of like 2 seconds, 3.5 seconds. So That's a lot of wasted damage against these Scalpels. Scalpel should beat Cyclops for cost, however, it's not a pretty unit matchup either. Daggers passing by that in progress Geo. Welder abandons it. Daggers should take down these metal extractors again. Godde, with the help of Reclaim, at even economy from Hjkia for now. Accidentally started building an anti-nuke there. I'm not sure what happened. Squill's in danger to these Kodachis, however, will survive. Commander for Hjkia, not really doing anything. Godde actually exceeding Hjkia's economy there. However, did excess a bit, wasn't building anything off of his plate. Lotus actually a little better against Scalpels than Pickets are. Because Scalpel, I think it technically outranges, no, it doesn't quite outrange Lotus. However, it takes so long to turn around after firing a volley, so it takes a lot more damage than you think it would. Calling from Hjkia, bound by Godde, going to go down to all these Scalpels. Nothing in the bank for Hjkia, so losing that commander here, he's not going to... Oh, he actually already has a storage. Scalpel's falling back from attacking the Cyclops. They could have won that fight, however, pulling back to deal with these blitzes and that ogre. Blitzes, if they get in, they can take down that metal extractor, both of these metal extractors. Nothing in the base right now, however, 2 Scalpels did just get finished. With the slowdown these blitzes are going to take crossing this slope, took a bit longer to get up than Hjkia would have liked, and will go down to that second Scalpel volley. Not a whole lot of damage there. Big boon for Godde, something he very much needed. Hjkia is starting on that geothermal, putting about 60 metal into it, however, abandoning it. To do what? To proclaim. Fair enough. Not sure why the welder's going up here when these wrecks should be within that circle. That's kind of weird. Lotus creeping forward, going to start taking this expansion. Metal extractor left at 73% complete. Not sure what's up with that. Hjkia starting on an air plant. Years ago, bombers actually weren't very good against Scalpels because the Scalpel missiles were just able to hit them. Nowadays, the missiles are a lot slower and they expire, fall back down to the ground fairly quickly, so not very effective against bombers. Phoenix, very good against Scalpels. The Hover AA did get buffed pretty recently. Flails used to be terrible, however, as of a couple months ago, they're actually quite good against bombers now. However, Godde doesn't have any. So, once these Phoenixes come out, and they're about to come out, that's a problem. Flail's not too cheap. 300 versus 220 for Scalpels. But Phoenix, a non-trivial investment in and of themselves. Like, that's like 2,600 that Hjkia is making in Phoenix. So, yeah. All those missiles falling back down to the ground. Blitz is moving in. Going to take a load of damage from these Scalpels. Cyclops has soaked up a bit of damage, but hasn't done that much. Did take out one Scalpel there, but Scalpel is suffering so much damage from the Phoenix. Hjkia hasn't built an air pad, so it can only refuel one bomber, rearm one bomber at a time. But just so much damage. All those scalpels dying. That one going to go down to the afterburn. Godde had the attrition advantage for a bit, I think. However, it's all gone now. Eco, pretty even. However, Hjkia in a better position to re-expand, in a better position to take all that reclaim. Forward quills from Godde, which he needed to reclaim, all going to go down to these blitzes. Godde. These flails not doing anything when the phoenixes. The targets that the phoenixes were made for are dead. Godde with the keyboard mash. Piece of shit windows. I think that's another word for skill issue. I don't know what Godde did or how he did it there, but that happened. That was a bunch of fight moves? Really weird. Anyway, Godde realizing that one was out of control. Huge advantage for Hjkia. Arm value pretty even for most of it, even though Hjkia did have a slight advantage. However, 4K difference at the end there after those phoenixes came out. Hjkia had throughout, but those phoenixes really sealed the deal. However, just outmatched in that matchup. So, Hjkia and Godde ending this 4-game series 2-2. Really impressive from Hjkia. Was like 13th before the series started and ended it at like 9th. So, very impressive from him. See if he can keep it up in the future. I'm Stuart98. Hope you all enjoyed this. See you next time. Peace.